emphasis and focus on Cole and Evan this spring now that Art moved on. So could you give us a scouting report from your perspective of what fans should expect from those two guys?
Yeah, no, they're both very talented quarterbacks. Both of them are going to be competing for the experience and the reps this spring, and it's really fun for me because, I guess I'm the old guy. Sometimes it sneaks up on you, but it's going to be really fun to help them and watch them develop. It's going to be a really big spring for the both of them. Both of them were smart. Both of them have great arms, so it'll be a really fun spring for them and spring for me to get to compete with them and challenge them and get them up to speed.
Chris Eisman, Gannett?
No, since the end of last season and now into spring practices and going into this upcoming season, I mean, what are you working on to really kind of take that next step and kind of continue to improve with this offense? Yeah, so this spring is going to be really big for us, and as an offense, we want to take that next step. But I do also as a passer and as a quarterback, and Coach Gleason has talked a lot about how our offense has the potential to take the next step in getting our completions down the field up. So we're going to take a little bit of that approach this spring and try to get that to be a better weapon for us this fall.
Aaron Blankman on the banks?
No, he obviously came to Rutgers with a lot of experience in the spread offense, but there wasn't a lot of practice time last year going into the season. How has this downtime helped, and how do you think that's going to benefit in terms of the offense next season?
It's going to help a lot. So I've been talking with Coach Gleason, in the quarterbacks, the vibe already this spring feels like we're a much older, a much more experienced group. And personally, the deeper knowledge, the finer details, the 400 level stuff that this offense is capable of that we weren't really able to get to last fall, we're going to be able to get to this spring and this fall through the summer and into the season. So we're going to be able to do a lot more things and do a lot of our fundamental things a lot better. So we're really excited about that, and I think that's the approach we're going to take.
Tom Canavan, AP.
Hey, Noah, you've used the word old twice, and I'm kind of smiling because I'm old, but, you're in your second year now. You came to Rutgers as a graduate transfer. What are you going to do this coming year? Do you do more graduate work? Do you feel like I should have gotten on with my life now, or what?
I'll play football as long as you guys let me. But as far as school goes, I'm just taking the right amount of coursework to graduate with my master's degree at the end of my eligibility. So with COVID, it kind of lightened the load. So I've got a pretty nice school load. I don't have to take quite as many classes. The pace is slowed down. So that's kind of nice.
And the master's degree is in?
Master's of Communication with a specialization in leadership.
So you're going to take over Haas's job?
Maybe one day. I got a lot to learn, though, from him.
Going to go to Chris Eisman with Gannett.
With Bo, with so many of your receivers, specifically guys like Bo and Aaron coming back, I mean, how much more comfortable does that help make you? And how much does that help going into next year?
Helps a ton. We're already seeing it. They were a big part of our winter 7-on-7 stuff with even the 3 or 4 young receivers we have. But even both of those guys have made big strides in nailing down the details, route depth, what releases we want to use versus what coverage, and then coverage recognition. So we're making big strides there, and the wideouts have done a great job. And those two guys, our returners, our guys who played a lot of snaps for us, are a really big key to that progress.
James Scratch, NJ.com.
Coach Shiano and Coach Gleason have both praised Giovanni Haskins this offseason. What have you kind of seen from him, and how big of a impact do you think it would make for the offense if the tight end was more heavily utilized this season?
Giovanni is a very, very talented tight end. It doesn't take a genius to see that, and he's made big strides for us. I think this spring's going to be big for him. Like they said, he's coming along quickly, and it's going to be really fun to be able to throw the ball to him, to use him in the run game. He's a very versatile guy, good hands, good speed, great size. So he's going to be a really big weapon. And like they said, he's getting better and better with every week that we get to work with him. And me personally as a quarterback is extremely excited about that.
Bobby Guerin, 24/7.
Noah, I've heard people commend Sean Gleason on his ability to teach concepts and be like a teacher as a coach. Can you just talk about that aspect of him, and what does he do so effectively in that regard?
Yeah, Coach Gleason's a very good teacher. I think the best thing he does for us is he can take a complex scheme and break it down into its parts, maybe by position or by decision-making, by job, and then teach it to you in those bits and then build it back up to build an entire concept, to build a part of the offense up. And he does a really great job of breaking it down, making things simple and able for everyone to grasp. And then as you get the bits and pieces, we add the details in as we go. And I think that's the best thing he does for us. He's a very detail-focused guy, but at the same time, he's able to break it down into its core part and build it back up for us and teach it to us that way.
Take a few more questions. Tom Canavan?
Well, what's changed this year for players? I mean, are you guys still being tested every day, or is the vaccination period? Have you gotten vaccinated? Has anything like that happened?
We're still in a very similar process to the way we were during the season. We test every day, and guys here and there have been able to get vaccinated on their own time and at their own will. As far as like team organized stuff, that's not really happened yet, but I'm sure Coach has a plan for all of that going forward. But for now, we just test every day, make sure we try to keep a clean cohort and keep everybody safe.
We'll take our last question from Fuchs, Rutgers Radio Network.
Hey, Noah, just a question about the guys up front and what you've seen from them and how much of a jump you think they can make, especially here in the spring.
I think they can make a big jump. Our guys are experienced now, which, that's super valuable stuff to be an experienced O-line and get everybody back. We get to capitalize on all the experience, all the downs that they played last year and build on them this spring and really add in some pieces that we think are going to help them, maybe refine some stuff that we would have liked to change last year, and they're going to be a really big part of our success going forward. And I'm excited about them. I think they're going to make a big jump for us and be a big reason why we're able to find some more success.